Ja, hi, hier ist Tom von GermanRhymes.de. Heute sitze ich hier mit den Jungs von Hilltop. How you doing, guys? What's up? What's up?
Very good, thank you.
What's up?
Very good.
So, how was the first couple shows? You've been touring with Atmosphere. How was that for you guys?
Yeah, it's good. Last night we played in Hamburg, and we were on like real early, like 8:30 or something. But the crowd was like nuts. They were drunk already.
Awesome.
And they were crazy. Atmosphere, always good. Put on a crazy show, 2 hours long or something. So yeah, it's been good. We played Summer Jam on Friday. That was dope. Performing by a lake always rules.
Yeah, I was reading up on MySpace this morning. The Atmosphere posted Hamburg was off the hook or something like that. There was like, I imagine it was probably crazy. So how's it touring with those guys? Like, I mean, like you guys are pretty famous in Australia. You put out platinum records, and now you tour with Atmosphere just as a support act, I would say. And you're not like the main act of the concert, but like, how's that? Like, is that a setback?
No, it's not a setback at all. You know, when you come to like a new country where you're not as well known, you do the groundwork and the hard yards, which is cool. But it means we get to play some smaller sort of venues and intimate shows and get amongst it a bit more. And we've met the guys from Atmosphere before. They toured a festival in Australia called Big Day Out, which we were on the lineup next to them, so we got to know them then. So it's good to be back on the road with those boys.
Yeah, I heard last time when we met them, they were talking about that they're in Australia, they get a big fan base, and they like coming out to Australia. So let's talk about you guys, because like you're not that well known, I would say, in Germany, but Unicity is probably coming out. Came out, I think. It came out
next Friday.
Next Friday. All right.
Sorry, it comes out tomorrow.
Comes
on
out.
Digital. Physical next Friday.
All right. Yeah, but I had like a lot of promo out on the streets, a lot of stickers and stuff, and they doing a lot of work out here. So just tell us something about yourself. Like, we probably go through the stuff with you.
I'm DJ Debris. I'm just a DJ for the group, and sometimes produce, but Suffer does most of the production.
And of course, we are the Hilltop Hoods, and I am Mr. Pressure. Yeah, I am one of two rappers.
One of two rappers.
I'm the other two of one of two rappers. I'm Safa. I also do our beats, and I'm a gifted magician.
Okay, you got a magic trick prepared for us.
Get that one going.
Oh, all right. Crazy.
If my nephew was here, he'd be losing his fucking mind. Are you kidding me?
All right, so let's talk about the LP. It's your fifth LP, right?
Fifth, yeah.
And you've been in the game since '91, so you've been around a long time now. And how does the music influence? Because like you're not from the States, you're not from Europe, a big country. You got your own continent. Yeah. So basically, the influence is probably not that cultural, I would say. How's that for you guys coming up with the fifth LP now?
I guess as far as the influence goes, we grew up in the early '90s, sort of getting late '80s, early '90s in that sort of golden era style hip hop, classic New York sort of stuff. A lot of it influenced us, and I think that's sort of, I guess, probably coloured our music for a start. But we've been making music for a very long time, even though we look young and handsome. No, but look,
Of course.
it's one of those things. You know, you develop your own sound, and over time, and I don't think our music really reflects our influences overly much these days. But having said that, we did a jump off of Pharaoh Munch on the new album called Classic Example, which we were trying to get it to sound like that sort of hip hop we grew up listening to in the early '90s. So you know, it's like a throwback to that.
So is that kind of stuff you want to just keep it that kind of classic golden era hip hop? Is it that you want to keep it the way, or you want to go? Or you just thought about going to some different way, like Kid Cudi, for example, or doing this electro style of hip hop?
We weren't thinking of doing that. What we were thinking was like we wanted to recreate the feel of that era, but not the music. So we don't want to make throwback records, but we want to throw it back to how people felt around that time, when it felt like a movement and it felt like something new. And whether we do that or not is another question, but that's the idea behind it.
When I heard your album, I was reminded by kind of Wu-Tang production, or like, I think it was like, was it at the end of the 90s or mid 90s when they had all those, like, because like you work a lot with a symphony orchestra.
Yeah.
So like I was always reminded by that, like for example by Breaker Breaker when you have Jizzer and stuff with the because you got the violins and stuff. So yeah,
that's a compliment, man. If you compare it to Riz's production, then that's a compliment to me for sure.
Yeah. So how do you think your album is gonna be received by the people over here and obviously in Australia is like is it out in Australia or
Yeah.
But it was received pretty good, right?
It went #1 on our charts
against
there.
Eminem too, right?
Black Eyed, yeah, M came out about a month before, Black Eyed Peas the week before, so we were pretty happy for it to come in at #1. But as far as heads in Germany, it was one of those things which we weren't really sure how it'd be received. But since we've been here, like we were spinning out last night of how many people in Hamburg knew all the songs and the album's not even out or distributed yet. So, you know, I think it can work here for sure.
Right. And it's just like last week or so, I told a friend of mine that you guys are in town, and it was like, "What, you serious?" And he was like flipping out, and I was like, I didn't hear about you before, but like I was like doing research and stuff, so I picked up on you guys, and and he was like he was already known, so like people know about you, so I think it's kind of a good sign for Germany and Europe in general that you guys need to come out.
And it was a real spin out for us last night because you don't really know whether people are gonna know who the hell you are when you come from the other side of the world. Australia is a very far away, so you know to come here and get that reception we got in Hamburg was dope.
So how's the hip hop scene over in Australia?
It's really healthy. It's it's constantly grown over the last 5-6 years. We've got a big national radio station over there, and they seem to be supporting it more and more, and it's getting a lot of coverage, and a lot of artists are starting to build higher on the festivals and making more of a career out of it. So yeah, it seems to be taking off pretty well.
I heard you guys do this foundation thingy where you help other hip hop artists out. How does that work?
It's like a grant that we fund it once a year. It's for up and coming artists in Australia. Basically, we sort of donate the money and we do it through a joint called Arts SA, which is like just an arts sort of funding joint, and we put together a panel of people that sort of select. We sort of step away from the project a little so that the decision making isn't biased, so it doesn't
us when they don't get it
and say that our mates got it or whatever. But the idea is to help manufacture, distribute and promote a CD for either a solo artist or a hip hop crew, because it's hip hop specific grant for just to give them a hand up. We got a similar sort of grant when we put our first LP out in 1999, so it was just a way for us to give a little something back because we've done pretty well off it. So
that's good to hear for the kids.